Hello guys, welcome to weekly outlook here on gold, the pound USD, the USDCAD, and of course the DXY. We have a bonus on Euro USD. If you stick to the end of the video, you get our analysis on Euro USD. And basically this week what I'm anticipating for the DXY, we've seen it very bearish. I'm still anticipating price to continue to probably come back all the way to 100, 101, 102 basically. So what I'm looking for is a reason to continue to the downside, but basically we might get a pullback to this regions of 104, 104.50 before continuing to the downside. So either we'll continue to the downside at the beginning of market open, continuation to the downside this way, maybe continue that way and retest these new lows, probably break a retest, and then we'll see price come all the way to 101 or below for the week. Or we could get a pullback from these regions here to regions of 104, possibly 104.50, and then reject these regions, and then we can get a pullback to these regions, probably break, retest, continue to the downside. So we might get a direct bearish movement on DXY coming into the week, or we could just get a pullback from these regions that would make us have like sells on USDCAD and buys on GU if we have a continuation to the downside at market open. But if we have a pullback, then we might get a pullback from USDCAD here and a pullback on pound USD to the downside. So let's quickly look at the weekly time frame here let's look at the monthly though. So the monthly kind of closed in like an indecision, though if I can zoom that for you so you can see it closed like an indecision here, as you can see, up down. So it's an indecision, so we might actually get price to the upside or price to the downside. If we go to the weekly closed bearish. It closed bearish, but more like we saw bullish momentum like the way it was closing, but it was still bearish though for the week. Then on the daily time frame we could see more like now a morning star, so there's a possibility we could get that pull back to these regions here, and then before we could continue to the downside. So I'm looking out for that actually. So a pullback. So back on the 4 hours time frame, you could see maybe like a head and shoulder pattern kind of formation right here. So that's why I say if price breaks down to these regions, we might just get a continuation to the downside. Otherwise, we'll just get price coming back all the way to these regions before continuing to the downside. And if that happens, let's start with pound USD. If that happens, if price is going to continue to the upside due to head and shoulder pattern formation, then we might get a rejection from this region one more time, pulling back to the downside, and probably coming to reject a little bit of this side or these regions here. But on pound USD, if price breaks through this upward trend line, kind of majorly 126 region here, if price breaks it, then I'm looking to short. If price breaks this region, we get a retest, then price should possibly come back to 125 region. And for the week, if price comes over to break these regions here, I'm looking for break, retest of 127.20, and ultimately we are looking for price to come back to 128.20, 128.50 regions here, and even above. Okay, so that's that for the week. More like a break above 127.20 buys, a break below 126.10.20 to the sell to the downside. So basically that's what we'll be anticipating on pound USD. Now on USDCAD has been very bearish. If we look from the monthly perspective here, we'll see October closed bullish, November closed bearish. Now more like a rejection from this region, we might be anticipating price to continue to the downside. And then the weekly time frame very bearish, or the daily time frame very bearish. So two things I'm anticipating: we might just get a pullback from these regions at market open to come back to these regions here, and then retest, probably touch this trend line for the third time before we continue to the downside to 133, 134 regions. Or sliding down to the 4 hours time frame, we might just get a continuation to the downside at market open, just straight way to create more like a momentum here, and then go straight to 133, 134 regions. All right, so this is basically what I'll be anticipating here on the USD card. I'll come back for the bonus on Euro USD, but first and foremost, let's look at gold. Gold here is back to the all-time highs here. July 2022, we had this new high at 2070 region. We're back here in March 2022, same, and then again earlier this year at April we had price come all the way to 2060 regions. Now we are back at 2070 regions here. So basically what I'm anticipating is we are looking at maybe a new high going to be created so far. So we might just get price to break above these regions. If it does, we're looking at break and retest, and looking at 2080, 2090, 2100. Okay, so 2100. Let me place a mark here on 2100. So basically something like that. Okay, but otherwise for the week we might just get a more like a retracement a little bit before continuation. We might just get price to retrace a little bit from these regions here back to these regions, or possibly play around these regions before we come here to either make a new double top, or we could just break that region more like we've seen and then continue to the upside. Let me see, something like this. Okay, all right, so this is what I'm looking out for on gold, but I'll be bearish on gold if price comes all the way to break this upward trend line and probably break back between 2000. That might be hard to see, but I think prices possibly might just come all the way to 2030, 2023 regions, 2030 actually, before we continue to the upside again. So let's watch out. Okay. Lastly, for the bonus EU is more like GU. I'm anticipating a bullish continuation here. Price to continue to the upside here, equal these highs and probably come all the way to 110 regions. But if price breaks through this region, we might just look for a pullback, maybe price retesting here before we continue to that upside. So let's see how price will play out. I'll see you guys for a weekly recap on Saturday or Friday. My best looking out for a trade here is of course the GU. Let's see how price will play out. Break below this we sell, break above this we buy. Okay, see you guys, and make sure you back some peep this week. Ciao.